Hey guys, how you doing? This is Coach Karvell Bailey, and I'm here right now in the Bless the Ball studios making a video for my coaches. Making a video for my coaches. We're getting in the dog days of the season, and I want to just come and have a little bit of love for my coaches and be able to help them. So, listen, when I want you to share this video, all right, pass it along to other colleagues. All right, let's get the information out. Let's start helping each other. Let's help each other to get to another level, because when we help each other and we're all coaches, then ultimately we help more individuals. I hope that makes sense. So here we go. 5 things that can help you win more basketball games moving forward. All right. Number 1, and I always have my notes, so you know I'm always looking down. But number 1, it's your warm up, coach. It's your warm up. Your players aren't ready to play. So now your guys or your young ladies don't get going until the middle of the first quarter, start of the second quarter, maybe sometimes until second half. It's hard to overcome those type of deficits. So you want to be able to get a great and efficient warm-up routine. If you're in high school, if you're coaching high school and your warm-up only consists of layups, then I would highly recommend, coach, for you to do something else, because after so many layups, the players are going to start to get bored, and then you couple that over 25, 28, 30, sometimes 32 basketball games. They're tired of doing layups in the warm-up line. Have your warm-ups, let them do something in the warm-ups that's game-like. Have them work on some moves during warm-ups that's game-like. I see a lot of coaches, oftentimes they have certain guys shooting, certain guys stretching, all those things. That's fine, but you may want to look at your warm-up, because if your players aren't getting fully going, like if the pistons aren't really going in the engine until like 30 minutes after the car is running, then, it's going to be hard to make up time for that sluggish first 29 minutes. So, coach, check your warm-ups, all right? The second thing here is shot percentage, and this is big. Shot percentage. Get your players to understand that they have to look at the shots that they take in the form of respect. Are they respecting themselves? Is the shot that they took, is that respectful for to the rest of the team? If you don't shoot threes and you shoot a three, that's disrespectful to the team. So don't shoot it. And then what that happens now, your shot percentage just tanks. And being in a game of basketball, if a team shoots like 45% from the field, they're shooting lights out. So you have to understand that it's hard getting a high shot percentage. So that means that you want to take more efficient shots. You want to be more efficient with your shots. And part of that is this. What kills your shot percentages just going forward is just taking and shooting bad shots at the end of quarters or at the start of the game or definitely at the end of the game. I see so many teams, they may be down 3 or 4 with a minute to go, and they're just shooting three. That shot percentage is going down, down, down. And what's going to happen with that? It's going to affect if you win the game or not. You get a layup, you get in the paint, get a layup, the shot percentage goes up, and it decreases the deficit that you may be under. The third thing is closing out quarters. And that's what I was speaking about kind of with shot percentage. You have to close out quarters. Great, coach. Listen, if your players are shooting like half-court shots at the end of every quarter, you've wasted a possession. You didn't close out the quarter well. You want to close out the quarter, each quarter, or if you're in college, each half. You want to close out each quarter or each half with 2 things. One of 2 things, either a score or a defensive stop. That's the only way that you close out a quarter, with a score or a defensive stop. You want to have the last laugh, the last say-so in that quarter. Coaches, please, again, tell your players to stop shooting those last second long balls at the end of a quarter. If a player shoots one of those each quarter and they miss, well, if a player only shot 8 shots, let's say that they were 4 for 4. They had 4 steals, 4 layups, 4 for 4, but then they shot 4 bad shots at the end of the quarters because they just want a highlight. Well, now they're 4 for 8. So instead of being 100%, you're 50%. And now we're talking about that shot percentage, right? And if you don't close out the quarters, then you very well may not win the basketball game. The fifth thing is one of the biggest things out. It's practice. Coaches, I always felt like practice was for me. The games was for the players. Practice is when I was able to do anything that I wanted to do. I was able to experiment. I was able to make adjustments. I was able to, put us in a position to win. And that's when the game is won. Games are won in practice. The games aren't won when the official throws the ball up at center court. The games are won in practice. So make sure that practice has more meaning, more substance. It doesn't have to go long. Just get your point across and get your point made clear and be better when you left out of practice than when you walked in. Practice is big, and you have to get your players to understand that even though it may be for you, but practice is where they're going to get better and where they're going to grow. And practice should be harder than the games, coach. Practice should be harder than the games. Use one of your worst balls in practice. I used to always have a practice ball, and I used to call it the road ball, because when we go on the road, we aren't in control of things like, the temperature in the locker room, the temperature in the gym, what basketball, they give us, or what basketball we play with. So I always made practice a much different condition than the game. So that way, when they got in the game, it was easy. When I had to referee in practice, I was the worst official ever, because I wanted them to be able to understand and get past those things and stay focused on the main goal. Last thing, the fifth thing that will help you, coach, win more basketball games is this. You got to get your bench into it. You have to get your bench into it. The people on the bench oftentimes are all you have, especially on road games. It's just you and your team, or even on a neutral site, it's you and your team. You may have some fans, but ultimately you and your team. So the bench has to be the loudest. The bench also has to echo. If a coach is calling a play, the bench should be echoing it so that the players on the court can hear. And if the bench is in the game, and if the bench is celebrating the players in the game and helping them on defense, it's one thing for a player to catch the ball in the corner by your bench and the whole bench is hollering. Now that's like he's being trapped or she's being trapped by a multitude of people. The bench has to be in the game. It helps with so much more momentum. And also, coaches, when we speak about the bench, listen, don't be afraid to hire individuals that may have more knowledge than you in one area or another. Don't be afraid to do that. Great coaches hire individuals that are smarter than them because they want to learn as they're teaching, if that makes sense. So coaches, you have to have people on your bench helping you that can help you. Stop just doing favors and putting friends and just people that want to be around your program, or even donors, if they're not contributing. Because you may have someone that's volunteering and they're offering more than the individual that's really part of the program, that sometimes just want to be seen. And that's the unfortunate thing. There are a lot of polo guys, and we call them polo guys because they just want to wear a polo shirt and sit on a bench and be seen, but they aren't offering any assistance to the head coach. Get you some people around you that can help you take the team to another level. Please hear me out. The bench is critical crucial, and vital, and whatever other words you want to use for like necessary and impactful. You have to have a loud and a included bench. And once you do that, now everyone on the team is feeling a certain way about those things that happen on the court. And now I'm going to give you a bonus because you stuck around this long. I'm going to give you a bonus. Listen, another thing, coaches, offer rewards. Make the game a game of small competitions. Make the entire basketball game a game of small competitions. And not a lot that they have to think about, but that's why you have a great bench. You have managers, you have coaches, and then you have players. So either your coaches or your managers can keep these type of stats. Like if we hold them under, this many free throws, or we take these many charges, if we get these many loose balls, these many 50-50 balls, if we shoot a certain percentage from the free throw line, whoever gets the most rebounds, whoever gets the most assists, whoever gets the most deflections, all of those things matter. Now notice, I never mention points. You can never have a competition with your team talking about points because your team will implode. You can have a competition with everything else other than points. And so that's the bonus. Start offering like things in which they want to get rewarded for, and then your team will give you much, 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 much more effort. All right, coaches, listen. If you haven't had, let me back up for a minute. All right, I'm back. If you haven't had the opportunity to get a copy of my book, and I'm giving it away, all that you have to do is pay shipping and handling. I'm giving it away. A lot of things that I talked about in this video, I really get into them in the book. So do yourself a favor and get yourself some professional development. That's another tip, coach. That's another bonus tip. If you want your players to grow, then you have to grow. And so it doesn't have to be professional development from me, but get it from someone that is making sense to you and that you can learn from. All right. But if you want a copy of this book, just pay shipping and handling. All right. You can go to www.coachingcounts.info, www.coachingcounts.info, or just click a link if there's a link somewhere beneath me. You never know. Sometimes I put one, sometimes I don't. But I hope you enjoyed this video. All right. Shoot it out. Get it to other coaches that you know that you would like to help moving forward. All right. Coach Karvell Bailey, Bless the Ball Skill Development Academy. Peace.